So a long time ago, I don't know, 6 to 8 years ago, believe it or not, a long time ago in a place called Brighton. A lot of you have never heard of a place called Brighton, but I think Brighton is referenced in a song by The Who, 1970s band from England originally, called The Who. They wrote songs, many songs like 11 Hours in a Tin Can, Who Are You? And There's Gotta Be Another Way, it probably is. And then they also wrote other songs like The Pinball Wizard. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure played from Soho down to Brighton. And Brighton was actually referenced in this song. We actually stayed in Brighton. My father founded a church there when I was a young lad. And when I was a young lad, my brother and I was potty trained myself. I don't know how that happened, but literally I actually taught myself how to go to the bathroom. Believe it or not, you can confirm or deny the story, but it's probably true. It actually is true. But how I did this difficult task, I'd actually watch Sesame Street. I've been watching it on television. And they had these characters in Sesame Street, okay? And these characters, within the Sesame Street, there were different characters. Like, what were the names? There were Bert, there was Ernie, there was the Cookie Monster, there was the Oscar, the guy who lived in a trash can. I mean, literally. There was these different characters, and so who are you? Like, if you wanted to ask yourself, like, if I was going to superimpose my own personality into the Sesame Street story, what would be the closest? I mean, like, what's closest to my persona? Would you be like Oscar Goodman, the guy who died? I mean, he's dead. He's former mayor of Las Vegas. His wife is still supposedly alive or some shit. His wife became mayor as well. Like, are you like Oscar the Grouch Goodman? I know his son, believe it or not. Are you like the Cookie Monster, like some kind of tech Wizno guy who's obsessed with cookies and attribution, like my buddy Per Pedersen? He sold some company to Target, Target for $5 million, and then he founded some other company and made like $100 million. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Like, I don't know how much their companies are worth now, but like a decent sized amount, quite a bit of money. That's Per. Are you like Per Pedersen or Jim Zarley or whatever, the proverbial Cookie Monsters? Or are you more in line with, like, Big Bird? I forgot about Big Bird. He's one of the characters. Like, there's these people, like my grandfather had like 3 wives. The last wife didn't want to go to her funeral. Anyway, she passed away. I had to convince him to go to the funeral and give a talk. Believe it or not, her last name literally was Bird, B-I-R-D. So, are you like that kind of a character? She was a VP of the oil company. Or are you kind of like a skeleton-like creature, like tiny as a bird, something like that. Or are you from Canada? Are you like this Canadian basketball player that was like rivaled Michael Jordan back in the day from Canada, Larry Bird? Michael Jordan, he got a lot of the press publicity, but when he matched up against Larry Bird from Canada, it was like a lot of times Larry Bird was better than him, from what I recall. So, you never want to discount those Canadian basketball players when they step on the court to play ball, And, and then there's Bert and Ernie. I mean, Bert and Ernie are kind of like the staple characters of Sesame Street, Or you kind of like the alien guy, who all he knows how to do is say yip, 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 nope, 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 yip, yip, Are you like one of those guys? So, so when you're reading the scripture, you're reading the holy books, whatever holy books you read, try to think about what character you might be, like, if you're going to be a character, like, how does this story relate to the Sesame Street story when I've been sitting on the street reading books, because it didn't make me no money as of yet, but when I'm sitting on the street playing Sesame Street, reading my books, what character am I at that specific moment? Anyways, until next time, I'll run out.